Started, I guess. 3, 2, 1. As you may see, the title of today's stream is 1000 to 0. Well, it's not a coincidence because I have really 1000 miniatures. My pile of shame got really big, and it's the time where I have to get rid of it. So I decided to try a little bit different approach with the streams. You know, we have a stream of my brother, and we are talking about Warhammer, all the stuff. But today I'm gonna focus solely on painting. It's gonna be a chill one, not so long. You know, we're gonna get rid of some gray stuff. I'm gonna comment on what I'm doing, and yeah, join me if you want. I encourage you to you know, give some donations, leave a sub or something, because I'm gonna do it every day probably. I see already one message. What the hell? Yep. It's gonna be interesting. You know, we are changing targets, so we want to reach some English audience, not only the Polish one, because it's kind of small. But let's see. I'm gonna do some small corrections for the visual stuff. I think this is gonna be better a little bit. And you know, step by step, I'm gonna work on the quality of the stream. This is the one, like, very basic. I'm using my phone. I'm using the regular app for recording, so nothing fancy, nothing special, just you know, the first one. And let's start painting. The first one I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use dry brush. This paint, this is a Metal Alchemy from scale 75, Citrine Alchemy, as you can see, or not, I don't know, I guess a little bit. And yeah, let's use you cannot see nice. Okay, I'm gonna use my vortex to get the paint ready. Small shake, and here you can see my wet palette. This doesn't need to be wet palette for the dry brush, but I'm using it anyway. Small drop, and let's take some brush for dry brushing. I like to use this one. This is a Citadel dry. It's old one already, and it's kind of used. No, whatever, this is just dry brush. So I'm gonna take just a small dip, you know, very small dip, as you can see. I'm gonna use now towel, paper towel, and remove the excess of the paint, like so. And let's start from up to down. It's gonna be faster process than highlighting the miniature, for sure. But I'm gonna do it kind of slow. I don't want to put too much paint, or I don't want the paint to get to recesses. But you can see already the color is changing a lot, you know, and that's what I want. The Citrine Alchemy is a kind of like very bright gold with a tint of silver, I think. Looks like a lemon or something, just metallic. And for me, it fits perfectly with my Custodes army, because honestly, I really don't like the original paint job. It's very saturated, very bright. It's like almost orange, which I don't know. It's like 10,000 years old soldiers, or even more. I don't know the lore exactly, but the guys are very old, and they are wearing like orange, very gold, clean suits, armor, you know. So for me, I prefer to have a effects of kind of a old metal, you know, old gold, I would say, rather. So, okay, I messed up completely. I should keep it on here so I could see anything. I could see something, actually. Sorry, my English is not perfect. I'm not an English speaker originally, you know, so it's gonna be many mistakes and that's kind of stuff, but whatever. Okay, I think it's not bad. There are some parts where I might use a smaller brush just to, you know, use a highlight, but in general I'm pretty happy with the result. I think the camera doesn't give the really great feedback. It's better than the camera, but I'll post the pictures later on the Instagram and our Discord. So looking back, okay, let's use a smaller brush. I don't want to clean this one yet because I might use it for painting in the future in this session, so let's keep it dirty, kind of, and use a small brush. This one is a brush 00 with no name because it's no brand. I bought it on AliExpress or something, and it's a brush for painting nails, and it's very thin. The quality is not great, but for the metallics, it's just enough. You know, I don't care. I don't want to destroy my good brushes with metallic paints, so I'm gonna use this one. Just a small highlights in a few places. Mainly the places where I couldn't reach with my dry brush. Now they have some kind of sun here on the armor. I don't know what I call this, but I think this might be a little lighter. And then maybe some more highlights on the helmet, which is the, you know, pretty important part of the miniature, which is because it's very visible in the battlefield. Okay, I messed up a little bit, but I'm not a professional painter. Maybe when I will paint the 1000 miniatures, I'm gonna be. I don't know. It's a kind of a goal of this challenge, just to improve my painting. Every other miniature that I'm gonna paint probably should be a little bit better. I don't want to get worse, obviously. And here. I didn't see that. This one is. Okay. And then, okay, I think I'm happy with the result. I don't need, maybe, I like this two-headed eagle on the back. So let's put some small highlights here, so it's a little bit more visible and like standing out, you know. Okay, that's it. Very simple, very easy job. Let's clean the brush, and I'm gonna do the next step, which is gonna be heavy bolter. Heavy bolter is well, let's use lead belcher. Lead belcher. So, small vortex mix. So Hopefully the background music is hearable. I don't know if that's the word, but I want you to hear the background music. It's a chill, you know, chill morning, so I want to be accompanied with the chill music. Me myself, I don't actually hear it, so it's just for the viewers. But anyway, you can relax, open your minis, maybe assemble something, maybe paint together with me. All right. So probably I should thin a little bit that better. I don't want it to be so thick because then it looks very heavy on the miniature. But the thinning of metal paints is kind of tricky. I don't want to use too much water. It's going to be really just a tip brush. I know you don't see the palette, so just I'm describing what I'm doing. Okay, and this brush is there's no name again. I don't know where is it from. It's an old brush. It's for I'm usually using it for putting the paint on the wet palette or painting the metallics, because it's very aware of a lot of old paint left on it. So and usually when I'm using it for metallics, it's for the bigger surfaces like this. Probably I will try to do some details or the things that I want to be done more precise with a smaller brush. But this is just the first layer. I'm gonna use 2 layers probably, because the first one is thinned with water, so it doesn't cover everything as I want. And slowly with the tip of the brush, I'm trying to use the tip, you know, but sometimes I'm going too heavy. For example, now I used probably too much water, and it's getting very flowy. I have to be careful to not get my gold parts silver with the lead bircher. That would be a little bit messy. I want to avoid that, to have a clean paint job. All right, and then well, the miniature is very wobbly because I'm using blue tack, so it's not really stable. I have other bases for them. They are already done, just waiting to have miniatures painted and glued on them. I will show you later on. It would be nice if you can let me know if you can hear me well. You know, it's gonna be some feedback, so I can check later and adjust the settings, or maybe adjust my voice, or whatever. I will tell you when we are painting right now that I was playing yesterday Horus Heresy. That's why I'm painting Custodes now. But I was playing Horus Heresy with my Necron army, actually. So totally different, and actually not even legal, I would say. Everything's fine. Nice. Okay, thank you. So there is a fan-made codex on the internet for Necrons, for Horus Heresy. It's done for previous edition of Horus Heresy, so it's not updated with new reactions or with movement that the miniature should have. But anyway, it's based on the 7th edition of 40k and 1st edition of Horus Heresy. So it's pretty accurate with the points and models that I could use. We played for 2000 points. My opponent was a Dev Guard. And since it was my, well, we can say my third game, I guess. The first one was 2 months ago, then 2 weeks ago, one more, and now third one. And this one was the first with this Necron army. The previous ones I was borrowing the miniatures. I was playing, I don't even know what I was playing. I don't remember. Oh, that doesn't matter, really. Some Marines, probably. Ah, yeah, I was playing Delver. Okay. So this was a very interesting experience, because it was like going back to my roots, you know. I started playing Warhammer like 15, 16 years ago, I don't remember exactly. But it was around that time when there was a 4th edition, maybe 5. And I remember exactly when, you know, BS was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Weapon skill was compared with the opponent. So, for example, like Necron Warrior has 4, Marine has 4, so you compare that, you are hitting on force. The toughness table was different. Some things cannot even wound at all if the toughness is high, you know. I think it was when it exceeds twice, you cannot wound. Okay, the first coat is done. I will tell you the rest of the story in a moment. I want to give it a little bit of time to dry in the brush. I have a... I saw some people who are using the blow dryer or hair dryer. I don't know what's it called. But anyway, you put a hot air onto the mini. I have something else. I have something like this. It's like fun, you know, to get a little bit colder during hot days. So let's try to use that. Maybe it's gonna be enough to dry it a little bit faster. Here we go. It's a room temperature, so it's not as fast as the hot blow dryer or hair dryer, but should be fine with the air blowing. Okay, that's enough. I think this part is kind of boring, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. But actually, the drying part is very, very important. Because if you messed up drying and you start to paint too fast, then many things bad can happen. Especially if you want to use later on like washes or something. And if some parts are not dry enough, it's gonna mess up paint job pretty badly. Okay, I will start to put on the second coat. Maybe I'll use the smaller brush this time for some recesses and the parts that are not so easily accessible with bigger brush. And then I'll switch back again to the bigger brush and paint the second coat. So back to the story about Heresy and Necrons. I was playing for the first time with my monolith, which was fun. It was only 200 points, and it didn't blow up in the first round, so that was good. I took like 60 warriors, and the flayed ones are, I mean, I just don't know the game well enough to play good with deep strike, but the situation with flayed ones was terrible, basically. So what I did, I was waiting for the best moment, so they are coming and they can assault, because you don't need 9 inches for deep strike in 30k. You just need to basically not land on someone. If you roll the dice for the hit, for the this like scatter dice, then you can land even 1 inch from the opponent. I wanted to be safe because I know that the reactions can give you a chance to shoot at the unit that just landed. So the deep strike is very tricky, you know. It's like, okay, you can land actually 1 inch away from the enemy, but this enemy can blow you out with the shooting attacks without any modifiers or without any like minuses. It's not like Overwatch hitting on 6s in 40k. It's regular shooting attack. And some units, especially in Marines armies, they can just shoot because they bought some advancement or equipment without using the reaction, and then the reaction is actually additional. So my opponent had 3 units, I mean 2 units with the equipment and 1 unit that could use the reaction to shoot at them at my blade ones. And what happened, I was trying to hide them behind the building in more or less safe spot, I would say. But the scatter dice, unfortunately, put me in the center of the battlefield, and all 3 units had vision into me. All 3 units had a range, and basically, when I deep strike my 10 flayed ones, they were destroyed immediately. Zero flayed ones left. So I was like, okay, I guess I need to work on my deep strike strategy. And what the opponents told me, Jason, that taught me how to play or teaching me how to play, he suggests that the next time I should use just more deep strike units. So the opponent have to choose which ones he's gonna shoot, and not just one of 10 guys with very, I mean, regular toughness 4 and 4 up save. It's gonna end badly every time. So the next time I have to be a little bit more careful how I'm gonna place my reserves on the battlefield. But yeah, so this was the flayed one, and other than that, I lost in the end. Everything basically could resolve in the last turn. I made definitely some bad choices, bad tactic choices, because I'm still new and I don't know what should I do. But I still could have a draw in my main turn, but unfortunately Terminators with 2 up save, 5 up invulnerable were too strong, and they survived my Heavy Gauss Blaster, they survived my 40 Warriors shots, and yeah, it ended up being like 5-3, the final result. The game was actually fast and not like, it didn't feel bad, because you expect that if the opponent is gonna do reactions, so like you have to be mindful that he's gonna, it's not like you are going to shoot and nothing will happen. He can shoot you back, or if you are going to charge, you might actually lose immediately, because you fight with your initiative and the Necrons have initiative too. So if I charge with anyone, it basically gives the opponent to hit me back first opportunity. It's pretty bad. But the game was fine. The game was fun. As I said, it like took me back to the old days when we used to play 7th edition and 6th edition. Back then they were very similar. Okay, so when the silver is drying, I'm gonna paint the next color, and it's gonna be something simple probably. Let's do these leather pants. So I want to show you something. I have a totally new Express Color Vallejo paint, mahogany. So let's use that. In the store, they didn't have a leather contrast from Citadel, which I wanted. So they suggested me this one. I used it already like a few times, and I really like it. The color is very vibrant and nice. As you see, they change a little bit the tip on the bottle. So let's put some here. Shit, I put it in the water. Okay. And for this one, I'm gonna use very thin brush. This is the brush I'm gonna use. Liberger number 2. Okay. It's, I don't know from where it is, and I mean, I know from where it is. I get it from Christmas, from someone, Santa, you know. And I don't know, I don't think it's a natural brush. I think it's synthetic tips, and it's already like getting damaged with using like it is like 2 or 3 times, but okay, I want to use them. The tip is pretty solid, you know, pretty pointy, so I like that. This part I'm trying to be very careful. There's not too much space to use the brush here. Easy to make a mistake. And I'm gonna use definitely at least 2 coats. This contrast paint is not thin. The flow is great, so I don't need to thin it down or anything. Just need to use 2 coats because I'm using it on the gold. So it's not like using it on the gray sea or something, and then the color is exactly what you want. But the 2 coats also gives a little bit more depth for the leather. So let's go. So okay, and then let's use the back. Let's paint the back. I mean, these Custodes do not have too many colors on them. They do not have red. Almost nowhere. Most of the Custodes from 40k, they have these like ponytails, red ponytails. This one doesn't have anything, doesn't have a roll. So it's basically leather, some black, I don't know how it's called in English, these recesses, the joints, I guess, and the silver. I'll paint the gems blue and red eyes, but there's not many things here to worry about. The colors pretty simple. But I forget about one stuff actually. I forget to paint silver the vents here on the back. I like to have them silver as well. So let's get back to my picture. Some water, but this time I'm gonna use again small brush because this part is much more smaller. I don't want to put any silver on the golden armor here. Okay. I'm trying to put the miniature in the frame. It's not so easy, you know, but I hope I'm doing a good job most of the time, at least. So you can see anything. I'm thinking to buy pro version for the software. For the software for streaming the video. This quality is like 480, so it's not very good. And the camera in the phone is actually pretty good. So if I buy the software, I could stream even in 1080, I guess. I think this is the resolution. So I'm thinking to do that. It's like $5, I think. And it's not subscription, it's just one time payment, as I understand. So if you think it's necessary, I might do that actually, because I think the quality, if it's better, then you know you can see more what I'm doing. It's kind of, you know, whatever for now. It's just the first stream, but I'm gonna try to improve day by day. I already did, you can say, kind of investment for this. With the background, you see like a black sheet back. It's special for photographers. It's like black and gray background. But I could just probably print out black paper and it would be fine as well. Just wanted to have something, you know, fancy. Maybe changing a little bit from the gray to more dark black area. So this part is painted. I will use 2 coats as well. Just not now. It must dry for a while. And since it's drying, let's get back to the leather. The leather part should be dry already. So let's go and paint the front right here. Can you see? Second coat is gonna be much darker already, since the base is kind of dark now, and it's gonna be much more rich in color. I don't know if I'm gonna use any highlights on it. I don't have like an idea what color could be good for that. I don't want to spend so much time with these guys. These are simple, just, you know, golden boys. It's probably not necessary to focus on some minor highlights here. It's not gonna be like seen anyway, probably during the game. Okay, so now back. And the next step I'm gonna do is probably paint black all the joints between the armor. And I like to have this part black on the shoulder pad. Yeah. Okay, so the leather is done. Very simple. I'm saying it's not the main goal to paint it like incredibly well or something. For that I'm gonna use probably I like to use contrast as a base coat. Yeah. So for the black part, I'm gonna use Black Templar. Or not. It's not Black Legion, sorry. I don't know why these two are different. Are they different actually? I asked for black. This was my old paint. It's very bad quality now. It's very like heavy and not thinned at all. This one is new, but the coating is actually pretty bad. So I don't know. I like to use it for the base though, because it doesn't cover so well, but it's the consistency is very nice. It's very flowy. Helps to avoid the mistakes, and it's easy to remove if you did a mistake actually. And after, when I will do the second coat, I'm gonna use the regular black, Abalone black, and then I'm gonna use it because the recesses would be black anyway already. So I'm gonna use it just for like, kind of highlights and bigger areas. Okay. So this is one black part. There's one. If I paint this rope black, that's not a problem. I'm gonna base coat it white anyway later, and then some blacks here. I'm using again my Liberger number 2. I enjoy these brushes actually. Just I don't think they will survive long, but they have nice package, you know. Okay, there we go. Let's focus on this part. Right. I want you to see actually something. That's the whole idea of these streams, that you can watch how I'm painting, what I'm painting. I like to paint in the morning. It's very... My body is more prepared for that. I think it's more focused and easier to control in the brush. In the evenings, I like to assemble minis. Put some podcast or video. Listen and watch from time to time. But for painting, I like to focus more. I don't like to watch anything, because then the paint's getting dry, you know, you can mess up your brush. So it's not so great. Okay, I'm happy with the first layer of the black in the recesses. It's not... It's the base, the coat is not fully covered, but the recesses are. And then when I'm using, like I said, Abalone black, it's gonna be really good. Ah, I forgot about this part. Well, let's get back to painting. Okay. So one shoulder pad is gonna have a collar on it. The other is fully gold. As you can see, it's just some kind of symbol. Okay. I don't show you anything nice. Again, the base coat is gonna be with contrast. I just want to have some color. You know, the coverage is not great, and I'm also using kind of small brush for it, which is more designed for detailed stuff. But I want to be very, very precise these lines. Hopefully I can paint full miniature in one sitting now. That's basically the goal. You know, I'm gonna spend like 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours, maybe 1 hour, depends the day, how much time I have, and get rid of one of the unpainted minis. And this one is already, you know, the big part was done because I did the base coat with the spray. I did the Agrex Earth Shade as a shade on the gold, so the big part was done already. Okay, so the black part needs to dry right now. And I'm gonna do the silver coat number 2 on these vents in the back. Yeah, let's do it. Then when it's dry, I'm gonna, as I said, use Nuln oil for shade and some small highlights with silver Runefang steel. But for now, the second coat of silver. That's actually not so necessary. I see that the first coating was like pretty much fine. So let's do it anyway to be consistent, you know. Maybe the inside of the vent is a little bit see-through with the gold, so this part is actually, this must be done correctly. So I don't want to see the gold from behind. And then thin layer of lead belcher, just to make sure everything is covered fine. That looks great. That's what I wanted. Here we go. Okay. And then what I said, what I want to do. Well, I could probably do the white stuff. So here you have a kind of a rope. Now you see this part, and I'm gonna use white, and then I'm gonna use apothecary white for contrast. Hello, Mini Scribbler. What's up? Thank you for coming. So let's do it. I'm gonna use white from Model Color Vallejo. Right, this one. It's a just white. I really like this white because it's kind of thick in the beginning, but the coverage is very good. Only 2 coats are enough to you have 1000 to paint or 1000 points? No, 1000 to paint. 1000 points, I don't know. I will have with 2 minis maybe, with the big ones, but yeah. I have a lot of, you know, Finally, someone is painting minis on the channel. Yeah. True. Every time you're doing the stream, usually it's just assembling stuff. But yeah, so I have 1,000 minis to paint. It's gonna be Eldars, Harlequins, Necrons, Sylvanet, Custodes right now. I have like, I don't know, maybe it's like 100 Custodes models and painted 5. So this is gonna be a long journey. Then I have some Necromunda stuff. I have Goliaths and Vansars, Kroots. Kroots actually I want to do for Necromunda as well, to play as nomads. And I have a lot of stuff for Curse City and Blackstone Fortress. So basically I have a big pile of shame, and it's getting bigger every day. So it's like, come on, dude, you need to finally get rid of something. I'm happy with my Necron army, which is like mostly painted, but it's you know, I want to play them. I want to play them painted. I want to play them on painted terrains as well. So, you know, all my friends here, or like most of my friends here, they have painted armies. Why can't I? Why can't I? So this is the point of these streams. I'm gonna do it every day, and hopefully every day I'm gonna reduce the amount of minis by 1 at least, or half, or whatever. But that would mean that maybe in 3 years I would get rid of my pile of shame if it's not getting bigger. Have you painted for many years or just starting? I've painted for basically since I started 15 years ago, but I didn't paint professionally, just, you know, as a hobbyist. But I didn't enjoy the process, and it took me so much time that, you know, I was just preferring to assemble the minis and play. The playing part was the most fun for me. So we used to play with my brother, with my friends. We all had great armies, great armies, not great armies, great armies. And, you know, it's time to stop that. I want to be the example that you can get rid of the pile of shame. I don't know if it's gonna be a fast process, for sure, no, but you can. That's fair. I'm the opposite. I don't play, I just paint. Well, you're lucky then. I mean, painting is fun as well, don't get me wrong. It's like, you can chill out, you can listen to something, you can, you know, it's like meditation kind of. If you are in a good headspace. It's not always like this, because you might get like frustrated that something is not going well or as you wanted, but painting is all right, especially when you know what you want to do. If you're just like fucking around and trying colors on the minis and then you're not happy with the result, blah blah blah, then it's like, okay, I wasted so much time and I want to change it. I don't like the result. So with the Custodes, I'm settled. I know what I want. I know how the goal should look like. I know which colors I use every time. They're simple. Same with Necrons. 2 metal armies, very simple to paint. But for the Eldars, it's not the case. I painted some stuff and I'm not very happy with them. Now I want to, repaint them. The same for no, actually no, the rest is just not painted. Okay. And how many minis do you have? Like, you just paint and collect, basically? or you are selling the minis? Why do you like to paint? That's the question for a mini scribbler, if you're still here. All right, so the first coat of white is done, and as I said, I like this white. I hate using the Citadel one. I don't even have it anymore. Well, I don't really have Warhammer stuff. I paint busts. I display them. Oh, okay, wow. Busts are, yeah, mostly for display. And what kind of busts? Well, I have a friend that is creating busts for vampires. Are you using like more history or more fantasy or some dragons or something? If it's well painted, I love it. All sorts, but mainly fantasy and sci-fi. I just did a vampire bust actually. Okay, so yeah, it's as you said. If you are only painting, then that's fine, because you just want a nice display. But for me, I'm not just I'm not a good painter, so I would paint the bust and it would look like kind of trash. So it would be embarrassed to display it. And with the small minis, you can hide many things. Well, I forget about one part that should be black, which are the gloves. Actually, the gloves of all my Custodes, I want them to be black. It's, you know, a simple color, but gives some contrast to the mini. And it doesn't take too much time to make, because also the highlight I'm using just one gray. I think it's like mechanical gray or something. And then that's enough. I don't want to spend too much time on the gloves. Okay, can you see anything? This part I don't like to paint so much because you have to be really careful to not get into gold parts or weapon. So sorry if you cannot see that I paid something, but I just want to be precise. I need to see. If you would see my setup, it's not very professional, you know. I have like IKEA lamp and phone for recording. But it's fine. I need to check actually one thing, because there is some gold lamps here, and I don't know if I painted it on the other miniature or not. Let's see. So, no, I did not paint it. Okay. So this would be the final result, you know? This is the idea, what I want to paint. Some blue gems, see the white here, leather, some red cables, black shoulder pad. And I like the grayish base with green. It gives some contrast, you know? Looks good. Yeah, thank you. Looks fine. It's not bad. I'm pretty content with what I'm doing now, or what's the final result. No, it's simple. It's for sure, for me it's better than the color scheme of the original Custodes. I cannot stand them, you know. This orange gold is I don't know why they are doing this, but okay, whatever. I like the old gold, or like wear of gold, more. That's why it doesn't look so orange and clean. Okay, so this part is, as I said, is kind of precise, so I must focus. And then from the back here. Okay, and then the other glove. I was thinking to let it be like a gold, like everything else. Just I think maybe gives a little bit of contrast for the rest of the mini. Also, the texture of this part is definitely not armor, so it would make sense. For tomorrow, I'm planning to, if I finish this one, of course, I'm planning to paint a Achilles dreadnought. So if you want to join and see, definitely come along. It's gonna be in the morning, because I'm working afternoons. So that's why all that strange hour, you know, there was some surprise in the beginning. Do you airbrush on of it? Any of it? The base coat I did was with a can, but I do use airbrush for other stuff. Not the Custodes. The Custodes, I just used the can and the gold was fine. I was happy with it, and with the Agrax air freight the result was okay. But for example, for my Eldars, yes, I do use airbrush. I have the name was, I think, Altanasar or something. The blue color scheme, like light blue color scheme, that it's some Fort Worth book. I really like this color scheme, so I airbrushed them, base coated them, most of them at least. And I will use airbrush for the satin final layer. So when they are done, I will use satin, so they the paint will not wear off while touching and using the minis and all that stuff. So I just want to have a more stable paint on the mini. Because I did one Custodes and I sprayed it with can, and it was matte varnish, so it looked very bad. I mean, it lost all the shine, and with satin you can keep the shine, as I understand. Warhammer primer are ridiculously expensive, at least here they are. Yeah, I'm using the Vallejo, the satin from Vallejo for airbrush, and I bought some varnishes from the local painting shop or like art shop, so they are like more or less fine price wise. I don't know, hopefully they will last for many miniatures, you know, but they are close. And the matte from, like, okay, I think the Citadel one says it's satin, but it's actually not. Or maybe I just used it incorrectly, and that's why they are matte. Okay, so the black on the gloves is done. How expensive is primer from Warhammer? I don't know. It's like $10, maybe 15. That's kind of not the greatest price, I guess. Let's use non-oil for my water. I want to show you something, because this is gonna be a rattle cam of Agrax Grey is nearly $30 here. Damn. Okay, I was way off. Not even close. So I guess airbrush is a worth in the investment, I guess. I consider I'm using this one. This one is gloss, but I have the satin as well and matte. Depends what I'm painting. Okay, for the null oil, I'm gonna use this. What is this, you can ask? This is my friend printed for me in the 3D printer. It's a paint holder. As everyone knows, the shades that are in bigger bottles, these are like, what, 24 milliliters or something? I can see. 24 milliliters, yeah, exactly. They are so easily, like you can, you know, messed up everything on your desk with this, and I did already many times. So I learned, and I'm using this one, and it never happened again. So, small vortex shake, small handshake, and let's use some shades on the bolter. Go. For that, I'm gonna use again a little bit bigger brush, so covers bigger space. And there we go. I'm very generous with it because later on I'm gonna. I want the recesses to be very dark. It's gonna be heavy bolter. I want the heavy bolter to be dark and like green. And then I'm gonna do the highlight with dry brush of Runefang steel. Maybe later I will just do the fine highlights with a speed metal from scale 75. Okay. I think that already it's getting much better. Okay, so the front is done. Just one coat of non-oil is enough. It gets to the recesses very easily. I love this paint, honestly. I use it so often. Okay, this part you might not see well, but I need to get it done correctly. So sorry. Okay. Hopefully it's fine. Yeah, it's gonna be okay. Many parts of the mini you cannot even see, like here. Nobody will judge you that it's not painted correctly. So whatever. And now I'm gonna use the other silver part, which is the vents on the back. And for the internal part, I'm gonna use the big brush, but for the external part, I'm gonna use smaller brush. I don't want to put the paint on the gold part. So let's use a smaller brush and just, it's like a, how do you call it, glaze, right? It's not gonna be like really visible actually, but it's gonna matte the silver a little bit, maybe add some shade to the recesses. This one maybe is actually too small a brush because the shade is not coming off. Okay. If it will not be enough, then I will correct it later. Yep, I need to take a lot of shades to get it done with the smaller brush. Okay, that's okay. That's good. That's good. There we go. And now, since I'm done with null oil, it must dry quite a long time. I mean, at least 10 minutes or more before I'm gonna use any other paint on it. If you do it too early, boy, I did that mistake already. It's so bad. It's gonna be like, okay, for example, I used the null oil. I didn't wait enough. I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of dry. Let's do the dry brush, and then I did the dry brush, and null oil just mixed with my silver paint and messed up everything. The silver paint went to recesses, so the recesses were light, and then the highlights were darker because it took the null oil from the back. It was disaster. So I want to be patient. I want to be sure that this paint is dry. While I'm waiting for it, it's gonna like for the dry part, I'm gonna do the second coat of the white, these white ropes. So again, model color from Vallejo, but you can use any white as soon as long as you like it. You know, the white color is very divisive. You know, it's hard to find a good white color, especially for base. Many whites do not cover well the background, the base color, so you need a lot of layers. And this one is like, if I wanted, if I would use a thick layer, I probably could do it in one go, but then I messed up some details. So I'm using 2 thinner coats. There we go. It's already looking better because there was some stuff still highlighting from the back, like the gold part. That was the base color. And when it's dry, I'm gonna use Apothecary white contrast, so it will display the details of the rope, and probably not many more highlights. It's gonna be very bright anyway. Big Man Max 234, way, what's up? What's up, way? Welcome to the stream. I'm painting Custodes, this Custodes with heavy bolter. I don't even know. I don't remember what's the name of it. I was checking yesterday. But he's, as old Custodes, pretty tough. Okay, so now, since this one is drying, the part I want to do is black. I'm gonna use a bottom black, this time for the shoulder pads and for the joints between the armor, here and here, and then the shoulder pad. So bottom black is fine, it's thick. I'm gonna thin it down for sure. Just here to ask some questions if you don't mind. I mean, it depends what questions I'm gonna ask them. Yeah, go ahead. I don't know if I'm gonna give you the correct answers, but whatever, go ahead. So a bottom black is going in. I'm gonna use this brush. Put it on the wet palette. Okay. And then I'm gonna use very, very small, same brush I used to do the rope. For the details. Just I need some water. So this thingy for putting the water on the palette. I should probably use something more precise, but for now it's fine. Okay, here you go. I need to thin down the bottom black because it's very thick paint, at least mine. Yours, you have a similar experience. And I don't want it to be thick and messed up. Can mess up the details. So joints. One layer should be enough because I already did the layer with the contrast paint. Yeah, one will be totally enough. My brother is a huge Warhammer person and I want to get him a present, but I don't know anything about Warhammer. Any suggestions? Well, Warhammer person. So it depends what he likes. Is he liking miniatures? Is he liking the lore or the computer games? It's kind of a important part, you know. What type of Warhammer is he into? Because if he likes to play, he owns the figures, the books, and the games. He owns everything. Okay. Do you know what kind of army is he playing? And do you know if it's 40k, so sci-fi, or is it Age of Sigmar, so more fantasy? This is also another pretty important question. For example, there are people that are only into sci-fi, 40k, maybe 30k as well. And there are people that are only into fantasy stuff. So if you buy something from the wrong one, it's like not the best present. So if you have any details, then definitely I can suggest something. If you know what kind of armies he has. Does he like to paint, which is also important because you can buy paints. They're expensive. It's 40k and the army has runes. I couldn't tell you. The army has runes. I couldn't tell you. Oh, well, runes. Runes are or eldars, or I guess squads, maybe. It's possible, right? Do you know if the minis are, what kind of how they look? Are they short? Are they elf-like? My other family member got him paint and brushes. Yeah, that's a safe bet. If he's painting, then that's a safe bet. But the minis are more tricky because he will be super happy with a mini if it's the mini that he wanted, you know, if it's the mini for his army actually. So or maybe if he likes to paint, maybe you can buy him an airbrush. Airbrush is fun, and it's you know, it's a bigger investment, but if you can afford it, then definitely it's a very nice present. If not, then you have to figure out what kind of army he has, and if you want to buy something smaller, then buy some kind of a character. Usually they're a bit cheaper. If you don't care about money, buy bigger set. Something that is not so common. For example, as an Eldar player, I would love to have some aspect warriors, you know, like more banshees, for example. That would be great. Or some kind of vehicle. A Wraith Lord, for example. That would be amazing. The one figure he got shipped to my house has like predator claws on it or something. Okay. Predator claws. So maybe it's like a Tyrannid actually. Right? Is it big miniature? I mean, there's so many choices here. Honestly, if I want to be vague and I want to be like, you know, if you want to be not so precise, the brush and paints are fine. There are sets, for example, from Army Painter that are nice. Ah, but it looks like a robot. Okay. So maybe it's a dreadnought. I mean, if you have the box, it should have the name on it, right? If it's the dreadnought, then he has Space Marines. And the range of minis for Space Marines is huge. Huge choice. Yeah, if you have the box, just check the name, and we will know everything, basically. Does he have a big army? Because if so, then we have to find something special. If he has a small army, then anything would be fine, I think. Because you know, extending your ranges is what everybody dreams of. Some new stuff. You can never have enough, you know. Ah, you don't know the number, I haven't seen it in person. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. So, let's see. I would suggest you to buy him a great mini, which is, you know, maybe if it's not from his army, he would start the army. And it's a very beautiful bust. I mean, it's not bust, it's a very beautiful miniature. It's the new Necron Void Dragon. Well, it's not so new. It has like a few years already, but I love this miniature. I'm gonna show it to you. Well, it's very big. Okay, it's kind of big. Okay, maybe like this. It's one of the best minis produced by Games Workshop, in my opinion. Okay, and I just love how they did the design. This is my paint job, so it's already painted, you know, but it has so many nice, interesting details, like the heart here, you know, and the body that's decaying with the small pixels, kind of the storm or bolts between the wings and bolts from his body that destroy base. I just really like it. And then on the back you have like a device that's controlling him, because the Necrons are controlling these Cetan shards. That's what it's called. And then the spear here. So I just love this miniature, and if he likes Warhammer, then he will appreciate for sure this mini. If he's not into Necrons, then he will have zero problem to sell it. But even if you don't own any Necron army, then it's as a display in your collection, it's just amazing. That's my opinion. It's kind of pricey, but maybe you can find something on eBay or Amazon, I don't know, or maybe local shops, they have better prices. Could be. But anyway, this is the Void Dragon. If you are gonna to look for it on Google, if you put Void Dragon, you will definitely find it very fast. If you want something smaller, well, there are other Necron models that I like, and they are a little bit cheaper, and they look great as well. I think one of the newest one would be a Lord. Necron Lord with face shifter or something like this. I have the mini, I just don't have it painted yet, but I can show you the... Actually, it's just assembled, so I'll show it to you. Looks great in my opinion. It's a similar theme to the Void Dragon. It's way smaller, but you know, it's like a guy surrounded by pixels of void, power, magic, whatever. Here he has a spear that's, you know, disconnected here because of this magic thingy. And I think it's, if it's painted, it's so cool. It's really nice mini. It's like he's disappearing and teleporting. I think it's the space sharks. It has a shark for a face. I think it's I don't think it's a shark. It could be space wolves, actually. Space wolves, because some of the players, like space wolves, they used a wolf helmet. Okay, I don't know. I don't think I saw sharks in 40k, honestly. Unless chat, you know what can be the shark in 40k? It's the face of a shark. Or maybe Tyrannid, you know, Tyrannid has a lot of teeth. They bite. They kind of look like an alien from Predator, right? If he has space wolves, then that's a great army, in my opinion. They have a lot of very nice minis. They have these wolf riders. I think they call it Thunder Wolves. They are great minis to have. They have this guy on the sledge, like flying sledge. Chariot, I guess. And instead of reindeers or horses, they are led by wolves again, because they are space wolves. So I saw some meme about it, like, you know, everybody's flying around on jet bikes, having huge armor. And then the guy from Space Wolf, let me bring my sledge and doggies. It's kind of funny. But it's the thing is with Space Wolf, the army is kind of old. And honestly, I would suggest to wait for new miniatures, because I believe they are or coming, or they are like in plans or whatever. I do like actually one of the minis that I think would not be changed, and they look fresh, more or less. Wolfens from Space Wolves. I like them a lot. These guys are like, how do you call it in English? As Wolverine, right? The thing that's when the person turned to wolf during the night. How do you call this? This creature. Harry Potter has it, like the Lupin one. So the Wolfen is this guy, basically. Okay. The black is painted, I think, everywhere when it should be. So the second coat is done. I see Null Oil kind of drying very well. And we are very, very close to the end, actually. Because what I have left to do is something that's, gonna pop this miniature a little bit up, and it's first layer of speed metal. Speed metal, I'm gonna use it on the gems. Custodes have a lot of gems on the armor, and the speed metal gives kind of like shiny base for the blue ink. Because I don't want to. It's Tiberius, that's the model. Tiberius. Let me Google that. Tiberius. Yay, I see. Okay. Ah, so if it's actually 30k, I see, first company. Okay. So it's Space Marine. Am I right? It's 30k, right? Yeah, the mini is very cool. Okay. And let me see. Is the chapter master of Shade Lord. Lord of the Void. The Red Wake. Chapter of Space Part of the Carcharodons. I don't know if his whole army is like that, but it's the thing that I have here. Wow, okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of a shark. If it's the same thing we're talking about, then can I show it to you somehow? Maybe I can do like this. No, you cannot see anything, right? Nope. Yeah. How about here? Okay, but that's fine. That means it's like it's not very popular legend, or I guess chapter. Yeah, they're fine. Yeah, you're right. They have some kind of shark on the shoulder pad. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Perfect. So in this case, I would suggest definitely the mini from Space Marines, and the one I like a lot is, let's see, armor.com. You can never go wrong with Terminators, but I guess it's just very basic, and probably he has it already. So let's go ahead with some more cool stuff. And not the Wolfen. The Wolfen is designed for Space Wolves, which is not the same chapter. And in my opinion, the one of the nice miniatures would be actually a tank. Some kind of tank. Let's see. Or new assault marines, they are fine. Jump pack intercessors, this is what they're called. Captain with jump pack is nice, it's very nice actually. Storm speeder, thunder strike. This is basically one. Repulsor is very nice. Brutalis dreadnought, yeah. I'll type it in the Brutalis. Brutalis Dreadnought. Can you see it? I don't know. Maybe not. Because I put it on YouTube. Yeah. Brutalis Dreadnought. I like this one. I think this would go thematically very well with the army of sharks. The, you know, claws and thieves, and I mean not claws, the thieves. Thief most likely. So I'll go back to the painting. So I will use the speed metal from Metal Alchemy, scale 75, and it's gonna be as a base coat for gems. Okay, so a small brush for painting nails, and let's find all the gems in the miniature. I need to be very careful with painting them because I don't want any of it outside of the gems to mess up big time the gold part and recesses. This is very, very bright silver. You can think of it like you remember the silver armor that the Frodo used from Mithril, I think. It's like this. It's super, like almost white silver color. You can even see. No, maybe not. My quality is not great, but it's in person it's very bright. Most of the time, one coat is enough. Because I'm using also a little bit thicker coat for the silver. It's gonna be a gem, so you know it should be rounded and thick. I don't want it to be like transparent or something by accident. There's a lot of gems on the armor, front, back, shoulder pads, basically everywhere. There is something, even very, very small ones. And I love blue gems on them. They stand out a lot. The red ones, I have the red eyes, I have the red ponytails on most of them. I think I will have to order that for him. Okay. You're a good brother. Or sister, I don't know. But he will hopefully be very, very happy. You can let me know later on another stream. And then it's probably like 10 or more gems on its own armor. And I have to be very, very precise. You can see this, for example, this small cross and dot in the middle. You just need to be like here, and that's enough. And anything else? No, I don't see any more gems. Usually I miss some and then I have to go back and do it again, but it's not that big of a deal. It's a very easy job. Okay. It's gonna be a speed metal, and now there are a few things I can do. I can do the highlights for black, I can do the highlights for silver here. I might do that actually now, because I think the null oil is dry. Yeah, it's dry, so there is no risk of messing up the silver bolt gun, heavy bolt gun. So let's do that. I'll take some Runefang steel. That's it. I do like this color. It's kind of, I don't know, it's not consistent, you know, the problem is it is not so consistent. Sometimes it's not, one layer is not enough. It's a little bit transparent, but it could be the thing that's my paint is just old, and I shouldn't buy a new one. Let's see how it is after mixing it with a vortex. Yeah, as you see, this part is messed up. Inside, after vortex, the consistency is not so bad, but as you see, there's some dark part. But it's metallic, but let's use it, whatever. So this time, I cannot use the big brush for dry brush. I'm gonna use the smaller brush, and I'm gonna use dry paper towel. Let's take just a little bit, just a tip. Okay, remove the excess of the paint. This is a delicate process in this case because it's gonna, if there's not enough paint, it's gonna be barely visible. If there's even a little bit too much of the paint, it's gonna go into recesses and gonna mess up everything. So probably on my quality of the video you won't see much, but the end result definitely is worth it, worth doing. When I'm done with this dry brush, I'm gonna do probably some very small parts, just the top highlights with the silver from Metal Alchemy again, from Scale, you know, just to give it a final shine. Probably on the top here, some part of the bolter here. So this is very delicate, as you can see, probably even not here on this one. It's barely visible. In person, I think it's, even in the photo, I will try to make a photo and put it on Instagram. It should be decent. You should see a highlight properly. Oh, there we go. I took too much paint, and then it's already in the recesses, and it's not nice. The good thing is that it's on the back of the bolter, so it's not that visible when you look at it for the first time. You probably would have to take a closer look to find this mistake, but I won't bother to fix it. It's metal dry brush, it's like whatever. Unless it's very bad, then I will fix it. No, it's okay. Okay, it's just okay. I'll do a little bit more intense silver on this these wings here in the corner. Right. And then I need to do the silver on the back, on the vents. It's gonna be a small highlight just on the top, here on the bottom a little bit, again here on the top, again on the bottom a little bit. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to make it too bright. The gold is already worn off, and the silver should be as well. Okay, I'm fine with that. That result is okay. If you don't mind, guys, I'm also streaming at the same time on YouTube. If you can leave a subscription on YouTube, that would be great. That would help. The goal is 1,000, but not only 1,000 painted minis, but 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you have time, I would really appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully I can, you know, the whole point of this streams, I just want to have some, have to grow my channel and maybe do something on the side. I love Warhammer, I love painting, I love this hobby. I'm already in it for so many years, and it's good to be part of the community, you know. So Now with all the things I'm done, I should go ahead and start doing this white rope. As I said to you before, I wanted to make it apothecary white. Is that? Apothecary white. With this one, you have to spend some time to really remove this part on the bottom. You know, shaking is crucial. And I also put inside a metal ball, so it's easier to shake. It's more like thorough. So let's do and use my. I can even show you maybe if I have enough cable. Let's remove this one. Grab my vortex mixer. Probably you can see a little bit of rumbling with the metal ball inside. Okay, so it's getting a little better in this part. Let's use some handshake. Okay, now you see the white pigment that was on the bottom is almost invisible. Just few things in the corner. Probably I won't be able to remove it completely because it's dry or anything, but it's good enough to use it already. But with this paint, this is what I have to do every time. Because if you will not use a lot of shake and the pigment is on the bottom, then the color is not the same. Basically, you won't get the shades that you are anticipated in the recesses, and with the pigment, it's gonna be fine. So, as I said, it's gonna go for all the rope here. Perfect. The gray part is going into recesses, and from white blob you can actually see some details. Very small part, easy, fast. There we go, and we are done. And it's looking all right. It's looking good enough, I would say. If you care, you can do a white highlight after that. I don't think it's necessary, honestly. So right now, a few things are left. Eyes, which I'm gonna do the last one. Gray highlights on the black parts. And gems. So let's do. Wait, okay. I will do the gray first, but I forgot about one stuff. There are more gems, which are on the gloves of the guy, and I forgot to put the speed metal on it. As a base for the blue gem. I have to put second coat for some gems just to have more smooth finish. Yeah, here, for example, this one is a little bit messed up, and this one too. Just very careful. All right, that's fine. And let's do the gray highlights. I'm gonna use. What am I gonna use? I'm gonna use mechanical standard gray, probably. No, I'm gonna use downstone white. Downstone. It's a gray color from Citadel. I like it a lot. It's gonna bring the highlight directly to the high tones. I will skip the dark one because I think I don't have enough control to make it like a 2-layer apart. And this one is gonna be just visible right away. Nicer, of course, would be to have it done by like 2 colors, you know, darker and then lighter. But I will try to be super careful, and it should be fine. It should be great, actually. So I will start with the recesses, the joints right here. I need to thin down the paint a lot because the downstone is pretty thick, at least for me. As you see, just the tip, and I'm going to try to be super careful. Paint the tip of the brush into the highlights part. I might do actually 2 layers since it's kind of thin, but first must dry. So again, only the top of this was bad. Okay, focus. Just the tip of the brush. There we go. Okay, the first line was very bad, but the others are fine. And then here. Okay. Honestly, the brush is not helping. The tip of the brush is kind of broken, that's why it's going not in places what I want. I mean, I could take the new brush, I guess. Oh, there we go. If the tip is okay, then the highlight is okay. 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 Can you see something? Yeah, okay. As you see, this is pretty thick highlight, but this is what I can do now. Maybe after 500 miniatures. And that's the idea. Now, Achilles heel. Highlights here. Not the cleanest one, but yeah, that's alright. I might do a second layer. Maybe actually it's too light. I don't know. Too light and thick. Well, the next one will be adjusted properly, I guess. That's fine. And now let's do some small highlights on the gloves. I have to be really careful here. This part of the miniature is more visible, much more visible. So I really want to be precise here and make the lines really thin, so they don't stand out too much. Stop a bit here and small, like so. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. Maybe I would add one more very small Well, the brush is dry. You should probably take more paint. This was intense, you know, guys. I really struggle with painting highlights. I do not enjoy it. I painted many minis and stop on the highlights, which is a big mistake because then I cannot return to them. Like mentally, you know, just painful. Fuck. I have to go again to the same mini that I already like and do the highlights to make it look actually decent. This one is a little bit too thick, but it's fine. It's not very visible. And a few lines right here. Can you see anything? Kind of. Yeah. Okay. Very, very small lines. I think you can see. I think you can see on the gloves here. There are some small gray lines. That's what I wanted. Okay, now there is one part I want to do before doing the gems and eyes. And I usually forget about that, which is there are some kind of nails in the leather here. It's just 4 dots, 5 dots. To do it with silver. Because I cover it with my leather paint. Leather colored paint, and they are hidden now. But with a drop of speed silver, they are gonna pop out. The final result will be totally fine. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Probably you cannot. No, you can probably see it. What I did was this part, you know, here. There are small dots, like nails in the leather. Or I don't know how I call it in English, honestly. Okay. This part I like a lot. It's doing the gems. It's fun. Makes the miniature already like super like colorful. So I'm using this Calf Blue Clear. It's air. I don't know if they produce them still, but the consistency is kind of an ink. I guess you can use just regular ink. That's gonna be fine. Let's give it a vortex mix. Okay. And then I'm using it straight from the pot because the consistency is very flowy, very, you know, kind of a contrast like. And then let's do it. Blue gems. Okay. I probably will do 2 coats just to have the deeper blue on the top. I won't do anything special here, just blue dot. Should look fine. My blue tack is not helping me. Here we go. Because of the silver base, this one is actually kind of shiny. The ink consistency also gives gloss finish, which for the gems is perfect. Perfect is a huge word. Perfect for me. That will be a more correct. I use it also for the close combat weapons, like a connection between the blade and the weapon itself. This I messed up a little bit. It's okay. during painting, it's hard to not make a mistake, you know. But that's the process of learning, I guess. You have to do mistakes, learn. The next time will be better, the next time will be better. That's the philosophy I'm going for, to excuse my mistakes. Okay. It's gonna dry very fast, and I'm gonna do second layer over here. Here's okay, I don't need that. Second layer. The bigger, basically bigger gems, I'm gonna do second layer just to have this deeper blue popping out. Okay. There's not too many bigger gems here, but it's heavy blue. I like it a lot. Okay. So all the gems are done. So as I said, it's gonna be fast, easy. Actually, I forgot about one thing, one part of the model that it's not visible here, but it's visible here. So I want to do the white layer. Actually, probably I could get away with a straight up contrast on it. But I want to be consistent, and I think this was a white base. Oh. Looks like it. You see, in this red one, I want to make it here as well. Okay, let's do a one layer of white on the cables, and that's gonna be our second to last thing to do. I mean the cables and the ice. Cables and ice, and then glue it to the base. I can say the base is practically done. I did it earlier, a few days ago. I did a bunch of them in the one go, so it's easy to do. It's just dry brushing it, dry brushing some stones. Okay. And let it dry a little bit, but I will need a second coat. And I should be more careful. Okay, that should be enough. What I'm gonna do now is to wait for it to dry, but in the meantime, I'm gonna paint the eyes, which is always a difficult task to do. For the eyes, I'm using very simple ingredients, which is pardon, from let's see. Okay. I like to use this. Burned red from Model Color. And this is the base coat for the eyes for my Custodes. And from there, I'm gonna mix it slowly with Evilson Scarlet, and then add a little bit of, and it should look like, I don't know if it's gonna, you can see anything, but let's try. You can see something, right? I know the quality right now is not the best one, but it's just the first stream. Let me get there. Okay. Okay, I like this color. Burn red. Let's thin it down. Thin it down a little more. It's a very nice matte finish. And we have to be super precise. The eyes are very difficult. Okay. I like this color because it's covering very well. Oh shit. And the thing is, it's pretty dark, so it's not gonna be very visible, but if you look closer, for sure you'll see. I messed up. Okay. So let's wait for it. It's gonna dry fast. Thick paint. I thinned down, but it's still kind of thick and drying fast. And then I'm gonna use a mix of burned red from Model Color. So as I told you, this one, and Evilson Scarlet. Let's give it a fair shake on the mixer. And some shaking of the hand. And this is very nice saturated red, bright red. I love it. Just a little bit. You don't need it too much, just for the eye. And the first mix. So I'm using, of course, burned red and Evilson Scarlet. Mix it together, add water, and okay, and use it into the nose. So the back of the eye, like, should be a little darker. And that's the idea, at least. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay. Probably won't see anything because the quality is not good enough to see anything. Tip of the brush and I'm trying to do from the back to front, so the excess of the paint is going front. Okay, I don't want to overdo it and mess up some details, so let's go ahead and put the next, and this time much more scarlet, or maybe, yeah, maybe I'll just use the scarlet red now, and no mix with burned red. Thin it down with water, and again into the corner of the eye from the back, just the top of the eye, tip of the eye, maybe a little bit more. Okay, and then this side. I like this side better. Okay, it's gonna dry very fast, a small amount of paint, so we can do the mix of Evilson Scarlet and white. It's gonna be very like pink-ish color. I would say it's 50-50. 50 white, 50 red. And we have to use a lot of water. Not a lot, just Probably you can see it's kind of a pink, red, close to white. That's good. Okay, it's gonna give like a light in the top of the eye. So the eyes looks like they are shining, kind of, or glowing. Okay, and then I will use pure white for the dot in the corner of the eye. And again, mix with a little bit of water so the paint is thinned down. If I need to do 2 dots for like 2 layers, then I will do. Fine. There we go. Just a small dot. Corner in the back corner. This is important. Okay, same on the other side. Let's take more paint, thin it down with water, and I'll do the dot again, so it's not a little more bright and bigger. I didn't want it bigger, but that's what happened. And yeah, I'm happy with the eye. I'll send the picture in the end so you can see if you like the result or not. I do. The last part, as I said, is going to be these cables. I'm going to use, I think it's called Custodes Red. Yeah. This contrast paint. Nice. I love this red as well. First shaking the mixer. Let's do it. It's gonna be probably just 1 coat. I need to be careful. I'm gonna use a different brush, a totally different brush. Because this one is too thin, and this one is too wide. I'm gonna use I guess this one is fine. Yeah, exactly this one. So one of my favorite brushes, which is Winsor & Newton #1 Series 7. I mean size 1 Series 7. So it's gonna have enough paint to cover cables. It's gonna have enough point to not mess up the details. And there we go. It looks immediately much better. I like the red with gold, that's why I'm using the red cables. I could of course do some different colors for different cables, maybe green, maybe yellow or something, but let's not overdo this part. It's just a cable. Okay, I think I covered on. Sorry, I have to take it closer to my face so I can see properly. Shit. Just a little bit more here. Okay, here we go. All right, and well, this is it. That's the miniature. It's exactly it's painted exactly in the same way like this one. Exactly the same way. I guess the highlights in the back are different. they are darker in the original one. They have lighter. You see, this is lighter, this is a little darker, so I will adjust that. I think darker looks better, it's just less flashy. And also I did a kind of wacky job on this one, so better. Anyway, I'm gonna put it on the correct base now. So let's take it here. So I have few bases already painted. Just I need to select which one I want for him. Let's remove the blue tag from the bottom. They didn't hold up so good on the blue tag because they have just one leg and it's messy. Good enough. And let's see. I would probably prefer some base with a lot of stones because why? Because it would be easier for me to use less stony ones for the guys with 2 legs, which are not so easy to place on many stones. Okay, I think this placement is fine. This placement is alright. Just in the middle almost. Maybe like this. It's very important for me to do it correctly because I have like kind of OCD, you can say. And if it's not in the middle or not in the place I want, it's gonna piss me off later. Okay, let's do my gluing with instant glue. This is one of the best glues for minis. I love it. And this one is totally new. This one already finished, it's old, but I have another one, totally new. Let's put the glue on the shoe. Why I love it so much? Because it's a gel. It's jelly formula. It's not like super glue. And it's very sturdy. You have much better control of it. It's not the correct pose. The stones on the base are kind of problematic. I put too many of them, and now it's not so easy to place the miniature on it. That's why I need a lot of glue. So there's a lot of connecting points. Probably this will snap anyway, but then it's done. It's actually done. So here you go. 999 to go. Let me finish it now correctly. So I will take some tufts. So I have a tuft from where is it? Paint Forge. Here you go. It's a very small, short grass, I'd say, rather. I like to use the, look, I'll show you. I like to use the scalpel for it, like a knife, maybe knife. Lift it up, and place it wherever I want or need. Okay, and then just push it with the knife into the place. Perfect. Let's use another color. I like to use 3. Why? So it looks more not so empty. And all should be, not all, but I like to have them in different colors. And one bright on the back. And actually, let's use bigger. Well, the bigger is on the side, probably. Yeah. Looks kind of like a moss. I like that effect on these gray stones. Moss. Okay, and I'm just gonna. And there it is. Later on, I will paint the runs black, but it's gonna be like 2 minutes. I want first the mini is glued properly. So this is it. It's my first of 1000 miniatures painted. And 999 to go. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna post it on the Instagram. You're welcome to join our Instagram, Brohammer. You should find it easily, hopefully. If it's not, if you cannot find it, it's in our description, in YouTube, and on the Twitch channel. So you're welcome, and hopefully we see each other tomorrow. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And ladies and gentlemen, see you next time.